14 French Open titles. You know a record is unbreakable when even the clay is tired of it. Rafael Nadal has 14 Roland Garros titles. Yeah, that's not a typo, that's domination. At this point, Paris should just name that trophy the Rafa Cup. Let me just break it down for you. The French Open is considered the most physically demanding slam. The rallies are long, the court is really slow, and sliding on the court, only the best can master it. Despite all these odds against players, Nadal managed to turn it into his backyard. Listen to this. From 2005 to 2022, he only lost 3 matches at Roland Garros. 3. It's like a Marvel superhero plotline. Injuries, new generation, tougher competition, nothing mattered to him. Nadal just kept on winning. The craziest part? He was doing it all in his 30s with knees that probably deserve their own retirement tribute. Absolutely no one. Not Alcaraz, not Djokovic, not even the promising talents coming up look anywhere near replicating this feat. Even if you clone peak Nadal, it still wouldn't guarantee 14 titles. This record is so far ahead, it's not even on the same court. 428 weeks as world number 1. 428 weeks. That's how many weeks Novak Djokovic has been ranked world number 1. That's over 8 years at the top. Let that sink in. Do you have any idea how hard it is to even reach the no one spot in tennis? Now imagine staying there longer than it takes for a kid to go from diapers to algebra. That's Djokovic for you. He didn't just touch greatness, he conquered the sport. What makes this record even crazier is the era he did it in. We're not talking about the 90s, we're talking about the big leagues. The guy was battling Federer and Nadal, 2 of the greatest this sport has ever seen, while fending off the rise of Medvedev, Alcaraz, and Sinner. You could say he was fighting 2 generations at once, and still came out on top. He was number 1 in 2011, and still number 1 in 2024. This domination is nuts! Can this record be broken someday? Maybe. But unless someone wins 2 slams a year for a decade while fending off the deepest field in tennis history, this record isn't going anywhere. Djokovic didn't just rewrite the book, he published the sequel. 237 consecutive weeks as world number 1. Consistency is underrated most of the time, until you see Roger Federer's 237 straight weeks as world number 1. That's 4.5 years without taking a break from the top spot. Let me put this into context for you. Most players struggle to even break into the top 10, Federer. He made the number 1 spot his permanent address from 2004 to 2008. He wasn't just winning, he was dominating games. In that span, he won 11 Grand Slams, reached 10 straight slam finals, and made tennis look like poetry. What's wild is how no one else threatened him. Nadal and Roddick tried. Djokovic was still cooking, but none of them could knock him off the throne. His game was that airtight. And listen to this. After his 237-week streak ended, he returned to the number 1 spot multiple times later in his 30s. That's like retiring from your job and still being better at it than your replacements when you come back for fun. No one has ever gotten close to this streak. Not Djokovic, not Sampras, and not even Lendl, who was playing in the era of dinosaurs and wooden rackets. This record is the gold standard for consistency. It's not just a stat, it's a whole monument. The only Golden Slam. You think winning a Grand Slam is impressive? Try winning all 4 slams and an Olympic gold in the same year. Crazy, right? Well, that's what Steffi Graf did in 1988. It's called the Golden Slam, and it's happened only once in tennis history. Yeah, just once, and it'll probably stay that way. Graf won the Australian Open, French Open, US Open, and Wimbledon. Then she flew to Seoul to play the Olympics and bagged a gold there too. Piece of cake. And I'm not talking about an easy field here. She had to face legends like Chris Evert and Martina Navratilova. She didn't just cruise through the field, she crushed it. If you're thinking why this record will never be broken, let me tell you why. The Olympics only happen once every 4 years. Tennis today is more competitive than ever. Injuries, travel, scheduling, it just doesn't look realistic. Even Djokovic couldn't do it. He did nearly pull it off in 2021, but failed to clear the final hurdle. Graf? She didn't stumble even once. She sprinted to the finish line. This isn't just a record, it's a unicorn. The 11-hour match. Imagine playing a tennis match so long that even the scoreboard breaks. Basically, that's what happened in Wimbledon 2010 when John Isner and Nicolas Mahut took on each other and ended up playing the longest match in tennis history, a mind-melting 11 hours and 5 minutes stretched across 3 days. Yeah, 3 actual days. Just take a look at the final scoreline. 6-4, 3-6, 6-7, 7-6, 70-68 in the 5th set. That mind-boggling 5th set lasted 8 hours and 11 minutes. By the end, both players looked like they needed a nap, an ice bath, and probably therapy. This match broke every stat that you can imagine. Longest match ever? Broken. Most games in a set? Broken. Most aces by a player in a match? Broken, with Isner hitting 113. Here's the fun part. This record is literally unbreakable because Wimbledon had to actually change the rules after this. Now there's a tiebreak at 6-6 in the final set, which means no one is ever getting close to a 138-game decider again. This match was so crazy that they placed a plaque on Court 18 to memorialize it. It wasn't just a tennis match, it was endurance art, and we're surely never seeing anything like this again. 109 match doubles win streak. Martina Navratilova and Pam Shriver were basically the Thanos of women's doubles in the early 80s. From 1983 to 1985, they won 109 consecutive matches together. This isn't just sheer domination, it's demoralizing for everyone else. They were so in sync, it was like watching one player clone herself. Serve volley, angles, poaching, it was textbook doubles perfection. They won all 4 slams in 1,984 alone and bagged 21 straight titles. Managing this kind of streak is almost impossible today. Because the game has evolved a lot, the competition has increased, teams split and reform constantly, and there are way more specialists now. A 15-match win streak is considered massively impressive in 2025. Now imagine how big a number 109 is. To even get close to that figure, a team will have to win every match for over a year. 0 days off, no flukes, no injuries, and no rain delays that mess with your rhythm. Only perfection. The mental toughness required for this? Off the charts. Chemistry? Untouchable. We always talk about singles GOATs, but this double streak needs to be talked about a lot more. Navratilova and Shriver didn't just play the game, they owned it. 900 career winning percentage. Chris Evert isn't someone who always gets the flashiest headlines, but her career win percentage is absolutely absurd. She won 309 matches in total and lost only 146, giving her a win percentage of 900. That's 90% for her entire career. Let that sink in. You can be the most dominant player for a year and still lose more games than that. But Evert? She did it for over 17 long years, across all kinds of surfaces, through multiple generations of players. That's ice-cold consistency. And this wasn't just the stat padding era. She was facing legends like Navratilova, Billie Jean King, and Tracy Austin. The women's field was stacked with greats, but nothing could stop Evert. She still made finals in 34 of her 56 Grand Slam appearances. Can you even imagine how crazy it is to win 9 out of 10 matches for nearly 2 decades? You can't pull that off just with talent. You need focus, fitness, and a killer backhand. No one in the modern era comes even close to her. Serena? Yeah, she's incredible, but she's at 857. Navratilova, 878. Even Djokovic doesn't touch 900. This stat is in a league of its own. Chris Evert won eras, and her .900 is as untouchable as it gets. 65 straight wins on grass. Grass isn't anyone's friend. It's very unpredictable. Slippery surface, low bounce, quick points. One bad day, and you're done. But Roger Federer managed to win 65 consecutive matches on grass between 2003 and 2008. That's 5 years of not losing even once on the surface. This feat included 5 straight Wimbledon titles and loads of warm-up wins at Halle. His game on grass was untouchable, and that serve was unplayable. His movement was like he had cheat codes, and his slice? It haunted players in their dreams. And what makes this record even more solid is that grass is a rare surface now. Players only get a handful of matches on this surface per year. It's like trying to become the best snow skier in a desert. To even try to break this, a player would have to dominate Wimbledon and win tune-up tournaments for 6 straight years. Yeah, that's not happening. Federer turned center court into his personal kingdom. It's like he built a tennis fortress, and trust me, no one's breaking in. 9. Wimbledon singles titles. Wimbledon's the most prestigious slam. You're a legend if you even win it once, but winning it 9 times? That's Maria Navratilova. She owned the center court from 1,978 to 1,990. Grass was her playground. Serve volley was her weapon of choice. And no one, I repeat, no one could stop her when she locked in. 9 Wimbledon titles is a number that feels made up. Even the grass king Federer managed 8. Serena? 7 titles. Djokovic is closing in, but he'll need to win more into his 40s to match it. Maria's secret wasn't just athleticism, it was evolution. She changed the way women's tennis was played. Nutrition, fitness, and intensity. She brought it all on the field. The pressure is enormous when you hit 4 or 5 titles. People expect you to keep winning. But pressure didn't matter to her. Maria didn't flinch one bit. She kept collecting title after title. This record stands tall not just because of the number, but because of the aura around it. 2 calendar year Grand Slams. Winning all 4 slams in a year is the holy grail. Even pulling it off once will put you in the history books, but doing it twice? That's Rod Laver. He won the calendar year slam in 1,962 and again in 1,969. That's the Australian Open, US Open, French Open, and Wimbledon all in the same year, twice. And here's the interesting part. Laver missed 5 peak years from 1,963 to 1,967 due to turning professional, back when pros weren't allowed in the slams. Who knows how many more he could have won if hadn't missed all those years? The last time anyone came close was Djokovic in 2021. He came within 1 match. Serena also almost did it in 2015 but fell short at the US Open. It's not as easy as it sounds, folks, because the mental pressure of chasing a calendar slam is enormous. Every match feels like a final. And Laver did it twice. Hold that. This record isn't just unbreakable, it's borderline mythical. If you enjoyed this, subscribe to the channel for more, because I'm going to be posting a lot here. Until next time.